Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start the lecture 3 of the subject planning a new business resource. Planning a new business venture. I'm your instructor, Ramsha Farman. Today's topic of discussion is to be able to develop a business case. We will learn like how a business goes on and how it will proceeds with its working. Firstly, we will develop a mission, vision, aims, and objectives of the business. Then we will interpret external factors to justify the needs of your business product. Then we will specify the business product to meet needs. Then we will propose business structures and systems that will deliver business aims and objectives. Then we will produce business planning forecast based on targets. And then we will identify business responses if targets are not met. Let's continue with our first aim or slide. Develop vision, mission, aims, and objective. It helps a firm to be able to develop a business case. Whenever you are thinking about starting a business, first of all, what you need to have is a vision, a mission, and aims and objectives. All the other things, all the resources, all the planning, all the anything related to the business comes later on. First, we need to have a clear vision, a clear mission statement, aims, and objectives. These are if we have this statement, we know what we are striving for, we know what we are working for. If we are collecting resources, why we are collecting them, because we have a clear mission defined in front of us, we have a clear vision defined in front of us, we know what kind of objectives we are going to meet and what kind of resources we are going to need to meet those objectives. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's move forward. Vision. A vision statement should answer the basic question, what we want to become. It's a very, very simple question, like what do we want to become? For many companies, it varies differently. It is more likely an ideal situation, which you know that 100% ideal situation never exists. It is very, 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 unique or rare that 100% ideal situation exists. So it is that imaginary situation, it is that imaginary statement where you want to see yourself, where you want to take yourself to, what do you want to become? And it should be clearly defined. It's not like that you say that I want to touch this, I want to touch the sun. It's an imaginary statement. It's a vision for someone, but you know that it's not possible. You cannot touch the sun because it will burn you. You cannot even go near it without the specific or special equipments. So it has to be realistic. It's not like that you will just say something out of the box, but it is not realistic. It is imaginary. It is kind of a fairy tale. So your vision statement must be realistic. It should have to be smart. And I think you must know the meaning of smart. Smart means specific, measurable, accurate, then realistic, and T for timely. It should be time bound, not that it should be like you can never be able to achieve it. So your vision should be smart, should be realistic, but it's kind of that statement which will keep you motivated to do your work. It is an ideal situation. Are we clear on vision statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then let's move towards mission statement. Mission statement should answer basic questions. How we will achieve it. Achieve what or vision. What will be our business? It will answer the question, what kind of business we are going to work in. How we will work. We have decided the business now. What kind of practices we will use to work. What kind of industry we will work in, what kind of industry we have chosen to work in. Like if we have decided a business, that means we are targeting for a certain industry. We will targeting for a certain methods to work. So a mission statement gives you a clear understanding of your business. It's not about what you want to achieve or what you want to become, but it gives you clear understanding of how you will achieve it, how you will take, how what kind of steps you will take to achieve your vision. Are we clear on this definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then comes the objectives. Objectives are made in accordance with the mission of the organization to achieve its vision. They are both long term and short terms. They are all interconnected, interrelated. Objectives and aims are almost same. Once you have made the vision statement, then it comes to the mission statement. You have now completed your mission statement. Now you will move towards aim and objectives. These aim and objectives are aligned with your mission statement to achieve, to achieve your goals, to achieve those objectives in the direction of the mission statement, in which in the direction of your business to achieve your mission. They all interrelate each other. Whatever we are producing here relates to the vision. We all everything we are doing here is for the vision we have decided. So are we clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There you might just to clear this, you might find at some places people have mixed mission and vision statement. They don't have separate vision and mission statements. They have it mixed, and at some places you might not be able to find the vision statement, or at some places you might not be able to find the mission statement. So be careful of what you look at. You will easily guess the idea. What do you want to become? You will easily guess the idea. Like here, the business or whatever the person is trying to say, he is talking about his vision statement. Suppose he wants to. Let me give you an example. For instance, Coke vision is that to replace water with Coke. It is kind of a realistic vision. It can be possible. Like we have seen such cases where people totally dependent on Coke. So what is that? The mission. This is their vision. They are working for that. So maybe we don't find a mission statement, but you have that vision statement in clearly in front of them, and you will make objectives, and you will make aims, and you will make strategies to achieve that vision. So it depends. It depends from business to business what kind of practices they use, what kind of statements they will include. But in many organization, in most of the organization, what you must find is a mission statement. You will mostly encounter the mission statement. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay. Now let's move forward. Develop mission visions, mission aims and objectives in relation to. Now we have discussed earlier like what is vision, what is mission, what is aims and objectives. Like we have made all these, but now we have to relate all these to the market conditions or target market and market gaps. So what are market conditions? Market conditions are the factors that influence the market in a particular area, such as pest, political, economic, social, ethical, technical. Competitor analysis, for example, characteristics and strategies of the competition, estimating the market size. If you remember, we have discussed this in very much detail in the last lecture, the market conditions, the target market, and the market gap. So it
Excuse
is
me,
repeating
ma'am.
here again. So, uh, do you have any problem related to the last slide? So, if you have, I can repeat that again.
No, no. It just started from this slide.
Okay. Market conditions are the factors that influence the market in a particular area, such as pest, political, economic, social, ethical, and technical. We are clear on that what is pest. We know that. Competitor analysis, for example, characteristics and strategies of the competition, We know that what is competitor analysis. We know how to conduct it. We know how we can differentiate ourselves from them. And estimating the market size, we know that how we can estimate the market size. We look at their market share, we look at their sales, we look at their productions, through which we can easily identify their market size. So if you remember, if you can recall, we have studied all these things in our previous lecture, and it is all totally related to that. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so are you recalling something?
Kind of, yes. I do remember a few of things you explained in the earlier lecture.
Sure. I'm just going to give a short recap related to that. Still, at some point, at any point, you need me to explain this, I can open those lectures for you, and we can go through that as well. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So let's move forward. Market conditions are important indicators. They often determine who should act and in what capacity they should do so at a given time. Now we know that the market condition includes the pest analysis, the competitor analysis, and the estimate of the market size. So it gives us a clear understanding that whenever we are conducting the pest analysis, we know that there are different factors which might fall in favor of one organization, and they might not fall in the favor of the other organization at the same time. So these conditions determine the capacity to which a company or to which a business can work in a certain environment or at a given time. Are we clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Then comes the target markets. Now, target markets represent a group of individuals who have similar needs, perceptions, and interests. They show inclination towards similar brands and response equally to market fluctuations. Individuals who think on the same lines and have similar preferences form the target audience. Market is simply a group of individuals, a group of people which you are targeting, which have the interest in your business, which have the interest in your product, and they show similar interest towards the similar brands. So from that, you can easily get the idea this could be your target market, or you can identify on the basis of your own product. This is all there to help you to identify your target market. And then individuals or those who are on the same lines and they have the same preferences form the target audience. They become your target audience. Now you know there is a whole bunch of target market, and that there is a certain people with same preferences are your target audience. Are we clear on this definition?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like target markets is basically the representation of the groups of individuals, like with similar needs and wants and perceptions and interest. But the target audience, like it falls under this term only, right? Or is it different term?
It's like one is a broader term and the other one is a short term.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, let
Yes.
me give you a simple example. You see that McDonald's do advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you see McDonald's is doing advertising through billboards. It has advertised itself on a huge billboard at the most rushy area in the place.
Mm-hmm.
Now what will happen? Everyone moving from that area will look at that.
Yes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what will happen? It will generate some kind of image on their minds. It will generate some kind of and any kind of picture on their minds, on their they can decide whether they want to go for that or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that whole area, those whole persons who have seen those advertising, who have gone through those advertising, is the target audience.
All right, got it.
Okay, so target audience is a major term. Now, when we come to the target market, those who have seen that advertising and come to the McDonald's and went to the McDonald's, buy the things, buy the products from them, and they went. then that will be the target audience.
Okay, ma'am, got it. Thanks for explaining it.
Okay. Then comes the target markets. We have discussed this as well in the last slide, and let me give you a short review. Socioeconomic, like what kind of economic structure or related socioeconomic structure is in your area, what kind of age group you are targeting, what kind of genders you are targeting, like you are targeting male, females, kids, teenagers, or elderly ones. What kind of occupation you are going for? Are you going for the IT persons? Are you going for the health sector? Are you going for the education sectors? What kind of sources of finance you are using? Are you going for debt? Are you going for equity? Are you going for loans? Or are you going for self finance? Then comes special factors. Special factors could be anything. For instance, special aid from the other sources. Special factors like you can say you can choose a specific geographical area with specific kind of interest. But people interest, we know that if we go to the hilly or mountainy areas, there are different kind of people, a special group with special interesting factors with them. Or you can easily take an example of differently able people here. So these are some special factors, could be anything which are differently but could be your target market. Then come personality indicators. Everyone have a different personality. If you just through that personality, you can target your audience. Then comes the geographical regions. You can target your audience on the basis of the geographical area or on the basis of their geographical representation. Are we clear on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's move forward. Then comes the market gaps. A gap in the market is an area that businesses don't currently serve, but there is customer demand for this. This could be a new and unique product or service that hasn't previously existed, or a new way of delivering an existing service. Market gaps can result in transformational businesses. We have discussed that earlier as well. It is the same definition from the last lecture, like those areas which are still untouched and which require some kind of attention, and those whoever move towards that area, those who will cover that gap first, will have the first mover advantage and will gain the market attention at that time, and it can cause a whole transformation in the business. So are we clear on this definition, or do I need to go deeper on this?
No, no, ma'am. I understood.
Okay. Then we are familiar with this. What is a product or a service gap? A product or service gap, simply put, is a market segment that existing businesses are not yet serving. For business owners, product or service gaps are a business opportunity. Like we know that simply, just like the market gap, when you come to the product or service, any place, any area where you know that there is a need of certain product, there is a need of certain service, and it has not yet been provided. So anyone who will cover that, any business who will cover that need, or who will cover that need, has the opportunity to gain the advantage, has the business opportunity, has the opportunity to do business in that field as well. So are we clear on this definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Then comes the emerging trends. We can take simply the advantage from these gaps as well. To identify the gaps due to aging population, we can identify the needs of the aging population, and we know that with the aging population, the gap increases uh, uh, because we are not prepared for that. Because markets might not have target that aging population. They were targeting on a certain age group. So you can get the but you can get the advantage here, business opportunity here as well. New technologies also gives you business opportunities to cover the gaps with the new technologies. Movements, different kind of movements take place. These helps you to cover the gaps. Then comes the diversity. We know that the world is becoming more culturally business workforce, that the world is becoming more diverse in terms of workforce. We simply find that at different places there are every kind of workforce available. Simply in America, you know that there will be, you will find black, brown, white, every kind of people working there. So that nowadays the world has become diverse, diverse than ever before. Then comes the culture. Culture gives every culture has different representation. Every culture have different practices, different traditions. According, if you would read the study cultures properly, if you study that culture, you can identify the gaps, which can give you the business opportunities there. For instance, if you relate two cultures from with one another, you will identify like what kind of opportunities you will have to work in that culture specifically. So are we clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Then comes the changing requirements. We know that environmental, what kind of issues takes place in the environment. It can be of natural disaster. It can be of changing environmental condition. It can be climate, anything. Then comes the legal and like legal laws, rules, regulations. If it changes, it can give you, benefits or business opportunity, or it can take, it can be a threat for you as well. Then comes the taste of the people. Trends changes, people changes their taste according to them with the passage of time. They don't stick to the same taste. They look for variety. They look for new things with the passage of time. So their the change in their taste also gives you the business opportunity. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then comes the external factors. We know that the external factors involve the pest. Believe you have a clear understanding of what is pest analysis. It involves the political, social, economic, social, and technological factors. Do I need to explain any of these factors?
No, no, no.
Okay. Then comes the gap analysis. We have already discussed the gap analysis in the previous slides, right? Like this was all gap analysis, how we can determine the gap and how we can take advantage from them.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Then comes the market conditions. Everything from first slide we have discussed the market conditions, the political factors, the best, the competitor analysis, and the estimate of the market size is the market conditions. These are the external factors which affect your business, which helps you to prepare a business course, business case, and which affect your way of doing business. Or they can be a threat for you. They can be a opportunity for you, because we have discussed in the last lecture that external factors are always comes with an opportunity and threat. Are we clear on this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's move forward. Specify the product. It's a new thing, but it is very much simple, not that much complicated. To simply put it, we see that specify the product. You need to specify your product, what kind of product you are producing. So it lists everything which is related to your product. You have to have a clear, detailed understanding of the product. You have to provide full details of that product, like what will be the product, how will it work, how much time it will take to produce, what kind of materials will be required to produce it. This kind of details, everything related to the products. Then comes the dimensions, like what would be its dimension, what would be the height of the product, what would be the length of the product, how much will be its width. So, specify the dimensions as well. What will the purpose of that product? Like, if you are producing a product, why are you producing it? What will be its purpose? Or you are just like simply putting something in the market or introducing in the market without any reason. Longevity, like how long that product will survive in the market, or how long will that product will survive, like what will be its a product's age. For instance, if I say, if you are using a mobile phone, you know that unless it doesn't get broke, you have its lifetime. It's the life cycle of that mobile. But nowadays, what is happening? The technology is innovating, the technology is advancing, and we see that every year there is a new launch of a cell phone with new features which force us, or which new with new updates which force us to leave the old one behind and go for the new one. So which has decreased their lifespan, which have decreased their age group and their longevity. Are you clear on this point, or should I later discuss it with some other example?
No, no, ma'am, I got it.
Okay. Then comes the target market. We have to identify if the target market, or sorry, target market. If we are introducing a product in the market, we must know what type of market will use consume it, what who will be its consumers, and what this product is for what market. Then comes the international or national market, whether you will introduce your product in the national market or whether you will go for the international market. So you have to identify that which kind of market you are going to target. And then comes the pricing. You have to specify on the prices as well, like what kind of pricing will that product have. Is it like a very high end product with a very high cost, or is it a low end product with a low cost? And then comes the distribution and marketing. In distribution and marketing, simply how this product will be distributed to the customers, how it will be like it will be distributed through distribution channels, or it will be distributed directly through the producers, and what kind of marketing communication plan will be used for it, how we will market it in the market. So is it clear? Is the slide is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's move forward. Now comes the business structures and systems. Organizational structures. We know that we have different kind of organizations working within and working around us. So there are like the main kind of organization which you will come across is like a functional organization, manufacturing organization, or it could be like a service providing organization. It could be like metrics, or it could be divisional. It can have hierarchical structure, or it could have bureaucratic structures. So there are different organization structures accordingly. For example, let me give you a simple example from a manufacturing sector. If we talk about a manufacturing sector, we see that there are different kind of departments working in that certain organization. So what will be its organization structure? There will be a top management. Then there will come R&D. Then there will be marketing, purchase, sales. Then comes operation and products. Then comes logistics and supply and distribution channels. And the finance and accounting department and the HR department. All these departments are working together, making an organization. But what has made it specific to the production sectors? So in manufacturing sector is the operations and product which this organization is producing. Are you clear on this definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then comes the resource management system. We have multiple resources in a business. Whenever we are working in a business, there are different kind of resources which we are using. Like we are using manpower, we are using technology, we are using equipment, we are using money, finance, we are using methods. So all these things are basically what they are, all resources, and we need to manage them so that we can utilize them effectively and efficiently with minimum wastage. So we have different systems for their utilization. For instance, if we take the example of an human resource, you know that we have different systems for the management of human resources, which keep the track or which keep the record of their working, through which you can easily identify like how the performance of this employee, what was the performance of this employee, and you can easily get the data from the database, and you can judge that this person is working like this, and this kind of benefits can be given to them. So there are different resource management system depending upon the needs or depending upon the resources you are using. Then comes the communication and customer service. So different business have different communication channels and the customer service channel. Like some businesses have call centers made for them, which are responsible for communication and customer services. they are providing. Some businesses have their own company working in this sector. If you go for like if you go in the retail industry, sorry, I'm saying retail. If we go in the apparel industry, clothing sector, textile sector, you know that there is like customer service provider, separate customer service section available for you. For instance, if you go at an outlet of any brand, uh, you what you find there, you will find a salesperson guiding you through everything. You will find a person uh, making bill for you. You will find a person helping you in deciding something. So what they are basically doing, they are providing you with the customer service. And so you have to decide what kind of customer service you have to provide, what kind of business you are going with, and how it will be provide you with the customer, what kind of customer service are you going to provide. For instance, if you have decided to go in an e-commerce business, so what you will do, you will go for a call center, and you will provide your customer service through that call center. And like you will answer the customers queries. You will take orders through calls. You will generate those orders. You will make sure that those orders reach them, and then you will call them or take their feedback on their service, on your product. So what kind of communication customer service channels are you going to use? You will decide this on the basis of your business. Then comes the technology requirements and systems. It's simply what kind of technology are you using for your business, and what kind of system are you using for that. If you are producing some high-end products, that means you have to use the updated technology. For instance, if you are producing cell phones, you know that every year technology changes. Cell phones comes up with some new features, some new updates. So their requirement changes with the passage of time, and so is the case with technology systems. In companies, we see that companies are changing rapidly nowadays. For instance, you have seen that during COVID, many companies have to ship many companies, not just many, almost every company has to ship from physical to online. So it depends on what kind of business you are doing, and what kind of resources you require, what kind of technology you require to do that business. So are we clear on this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then and then comes in the forecast. In forecast, what we do is basically we forecast like what will happen in the future. We make short report on the basis of our findings, which we do through the different analysis, which we do through like pest analysis, compatible analysis, with estimating the market size, or everything which we have discussed earlier. Okay, so we have like different forecasts available here. First is financial forecast. In financial forecast, what you do basically, you forecast like what kind of finance you have available for you to work in a certain business, to run a certain business. Okay, for instance, you decided to do a business now. What kind of resource do you have sorry, do you have finance for that? For instance, are you going to finance your business, finance your company through equity overall, or are you going to take some debts? And if you have decided to use the equity, like how long that equity can help you survive in that business. So it all comes under the financial forecast. Then comes the physical forecast. That means like how suitable or how long your machinery, your assets can work, your physical assets, tangible assets can work for you. Okay. Then comes the sales forecast. You do budgeting. You decide on like if we produce this much if we do this much production, we produce 1,000 units of a certain product. Then what will be your sales? How much profit we can gain from them, and what will be your break even point? These focus could be in a short and run, or these could be in a long run. Okay, so moving forward, are we clear on the last slides we have discussed so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss the business responses. Now, you have to make sure that you have the alternative plans available for you in case the targets you have decided, in case the objectives you have decided, they are not met. Then how you will going to face the circumstances? Okay, then first comes the use of contingency funds. Funds. What is basically contingency funds? That you save some kind, you keep some kind of reserves available for you in for the future needs, so that for instance, if you run out of funds in the future, or if you run out of funds right now, so you have some kind of reserve available for you, so that you can use them in the uncertain situation. So use of contingency funds mean, if you are not able to meet your targets financially, so you can use those funds to meet those targets. Then comes the clear. For instance, you have to close your business. So have you decided, like, how you will do through that? Because in some sectors it is easy to enter the market, but it is not easy to leave the market as well. So you have to have a clear understanding of that, or you have to be make sure that you have a clear business response, so that if you are closing your business, are you doing it permanently, or are you doing it temporarily? So you have to decide on that as well. Then comes insolvency and the bankruptcy. Now, what is insolvency? Basically, insolvency is a state when a person becomes unable to pay the debts. When the debt ratio becomes higher than the asset ratio. That means it becomes higher than your assets. Simply, you can not pay your debt even if you sell all of your assets. So, in that case, what happens that you can go bankrupt. The government can give out court order to do bankruptcy. So, and you can go bankrupt. But it usually happen in the case of sole trader, or two individuals or sole traders who have unlimited liability. We have discussed this in very much detail in the first lecture, like who will have limited liability, and those who will have unlimited liability, how they will have to face their circumstances, or how they will have to cover those liabilities. So and then comes the new markets. If you are not able to meet your targets in the current market, can you go for the new market? Have you decided on that? Do you have a clear understanding of the new market you are going to penetrate in, you are going to target? Then comes the more funding. Like you can decide to get more fundings through investors. You can decide to get more fundings through taking loans, through debts, and through equity. It depends on the needs of your business and what kind of targets you are trying to achieve. Are we clear on this slide? Or if you have any questions, just let me know.
Yes, ma'am, it's all clear.
Okay, Bia. Thank you so much. This was all for today. And
Okay.
inshallah, we have our last lecture tomorrow.